Hello everyone, this is my 2014 Yamaha Raider and I'm going to do an air filter change. I found a YouTube video was helpful and I thought I'd make another one. That way you have two different things to look at. I did get a cheap manual on eBay. It's not helpful, especially for this procedure, but it's nice to have a log for all my work. And then it does have specs in here. And I did buy an online manual. So here's the air filter. First thing you want to do, make sure you have the right part. I did get one of these off of Amazon for $20 for Yamaha specific filter. So I pre-staged a couple things. So first thing you need to do is take off the gauge plate assembly. It's 3 bolts and this bolt already is ready to go. Took it out. Right there, and then there's 2 in the front on either side. It's got 3, and that's with the hex head, and it's size 4. So size 4 for that. Now, what I recommend is taking a soft cloth or a rag, protect your bike. When you get the 3 bolts out, you want to take this faceplate carefully so you don't scratch it. You're gonna flip it over. Let me set the phone down real quick. So flip it over on top of your soft rag. And your connections, you're gonna have 3 connections here, and they're gonna be tight. And it's easier to take these clips off when you have this flipped. So put down your protective cover, flip it over. That way you can have 2 hands. And what you want to get is a narrow flathead and then a wider flathead. And it makes it a lot easier to get these clips off. For these clips, just pinch the clip with your finger and then just use the wider flathead to pry it out. You just give it a twist. Once it's in there flat, twist it for both the bigger white and black. And actually, before I did that, so you can see these, all 3 of these clips have this plate that they're secured to. They secure right here. So before you can flip this over and disconnect them, get a needle nose pliers and reach up underneath where the tabs are and pinch to get to free them off the mounting plate. That way they're off the mounting plate, you have this extra cable length to work with to disconnect these. This clip was a lot more difficult, and it was a lot easier once I found out that once you have a narrow flathead, you place that in this channel, the white channel, the white hole there, and you could just push. And what you're going to be pushing on is this groove. There's this small groove right there for this clip. When you push on that groove, that's what's going to give you leverage. You're going to disengage the clasp and then free and push out with that one, with a small, narrow flathead. That makes it a lot easier. Once these are all free, just remember the order and try not to twist up cables. You can just push them out of the way. And then you have this breather for the fuel tank. It's just a breather, so you can just take that off. Just got a quick disconnect. You just take that off, free that up as well. Just get everything out of the way. And the seat, it's pretty easy to get the seat off. Move that out of your way. Next step, I already took it off. This neck cover plate, it's got 2 hex head Allens. Those are also a number 4. And that just rested down on top of here. So you have 2 4mm hex heads. If you have a socket drive, that would make it easier. Get that off. That will expose the fuel tank mounts. So here you have, I believe there's 6mm. No, 5mm. At 5mm hex heads to get these off. These can be very difficult to get off. And if they are very difficult for you to get off, then you're not going to put them in again without putting some kind of thread sealant, either nickel or brass. Let's see what I got. So I got some brass and silver anti-seize, so I use silver anti-seize for these. You get that neck cover off, and then the tank is free. And then you got these rear plate with 10mm on the rear. So these already have loose. Take those off. So before you do this too, you want to make sure your fuel tank's not full. So ride a little bit, and I'm a quarter of a tank right now, so it should be fine. But they do have this valve. It's got this cap, and then you can see there's an alligator clip, and then there's a valve with just a flathead. You can turn and secure this valve that separates the lower tank to the actual fuel tank. We're not going to be using that. So that tank's free. For this part, you need to have a plan. Other guys I've seen do this, it wasn't a clean job. It was kind of awkward, and they just kind of did it, which they got the job done. But my plan is to have workbenches on either side, and I'm going to use some wood to get underneath my tank and see if that works. If that doesn't work, I'll use what I did last time, which was a ratchet strap. So I'm not going to disconnect my fuel tank from the main line. I'm just going to have my fuel tank up enough to do the air filter, and I'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to need my hands free for this.